Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Mystic Scales.
Mystic Scales and Fairy Tales podcast.
I'm Lee.
And I'm Jen, and this is your first time. Welcome. We are a fantasy, romance, and dystopian podcast, and welcome to our book club vibes. Welcome to our book podcast. We are on season 3 of our podcast, so this is great because today is a fun episode as we continue a series we have started previously in season 1 and season 2. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure to go back. But the nice thing about the series is you don't have to listen to the entire series. You could just kind of come in whenever you want. And that is our Ali Hazelwood mini episode series. If it's your first time joining the podcast, we have long episodes we do every other week, and in between weeks we do mini episodes that are 30 minutes long, nice and digestible. And we started that originally with going over like fun tropes or fun book questions, and then we did like books that we felt like we could devour short and sweet, and then we decided to Lee's read all of Ali Hazelwood and I have not, so then we decided to go on this Ali Hazelwood journey. And this speaks to how much Ali publishes, that we started this, I think, in August of 2025, and we're still not done. That's 2 episodes a month. So remember that. So, like, we have maybe, like, 1 or 2 or 3 that weren't focused on Ali, but at most, majority of it's Ali. So it's taking us that long to get through Ali because of how much publishing she has. But we're slowly creeping towards the end. We are going to do a very fun book today that I really liked and Lee likes, but it wasn't her favorite at first.
Correct. Yeah.
And then we have 2 more, and then we have one more novella, full length, and then we have another novella.
2
and
novellas.
then we're 2 novellas. And and then we're caught up to Ali's current publishing schedule, and we're ready for her when she comes back. So anyway, all that to say, thank you for joining us today. We're really excited because what book is today, Lee?
Today is Not in Love.
It's exciting because we had to read that first as the book that comes, not the next book, the book after that, which is Problematic Summer Romance, is connected to Not in Love. So it's really exciting for me to start that journey for when I get there later.
Mm-hmm. Very, very cool. You want to do a back of the book ad?
Yeah, I'll do the back of the book ad. Yeah, we're going to talk about the whole book in this episode, though, so if you haven't read the book, come back and listen, or listen and get the book spoiled. Who cares? So, Not in Love. It's also one of her more, I feel like, spicier covers.
Yeah, so this was actually promoted as her, like, most spicy yet. So this was pre-Deep End, pre-Wet. So this was her first, like, jump, so to speak, into that.
Dive.
We can discuss, we could discuss if we feel like it was too spicy, average spice,
More than normal for Ali? Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely pitched as that when it was being released.
Which is interesting, because you could definitely see that with the covers as it changes. It's still, like, in the Ali vein, I would say. But yeah, like this one, like, she's sitting on a desk, and he's, like, wrapped around her, and he's kissing her shoulder. So it's a little more intimate than her other covers, I would say. The one thing that was bothering me a little bit with the covers is, like, they, like, showed, like, half her face. And, like, they put so much blush on her that I think she looks like a doll. And it, like, totally bothers me. Like, I get why they needed to do the coloration of it because there's multiple reds on it and they were trying to match the saturation. So I understood that. But, like, looking at it online, not the best. Looking in person's not as bad. But when I look at the picture online, like, I'm staring at it right now, I'm like, wow, that really looks, like, kind of weird. Like, it looks like those people that put on, like, too much makeup and you're like, ooh.
Yeah. Like,
it's not blended.
They're like that in, like, the Who's in Whoville when they're, like, super rosy.
That's what it looks like. I'm like, oh, did he, like, pinch her cheeks or something? Like, what's going on?
Jeez. Maybe.
Anyway. So, a forbidden secret affair proves that all's fair in love and science. Roosh, is it Sherbert? Shebert? Do you remember her last name?
I don't remember.
Siebert? It's
Siebert sounds right.
Bert. Yeah, I think it's Siebert.
Yeah.
Ruth Siebert might not have it all, but she has enough. A few friends she can always count on, the financial stability she yearned for as a kid, and a successful career as a biotech engineer at Klein, one of the most promising startups in the field of food science. Her world is stable, pleasant, and hard-fought. until a hostile takeover and its offensively attractive front man threatens to bring it all crumbling down. Eli Kilgore and his business partners want Clyde, period. Eli has his own reasons for pushing the deal through, and he's a man who gets what he wants, with one burning exception, Rue. The woman he can't stop thinking about, the woman who's off limits to him. Torn between loyalty and an undeniable attraction, Rue and Eli throw caution out the lab and the boardroom windows. Their affair is secret, no strings attached, and has a built-in deadline, the day one of their companies will prevail. But the heart is a risky business, one that plays for keeps. Dun, dun, dun.
See, now that was a good back of the book ad.
Yes!
You know?
It didn't tell me too much.
Yeah, but it still, like, captured your attention.
And it was funny.
Yeah. Props to whoever wrote that.
I know, sometimes when I read these, like, I think it's Ali, but then I read them and I'm like, this sounds like someone who's just, like, summarizing Ali's books pretty well. Yeah, so it feels like an editor, too.
It's usually just, like, an assistant, I think.
Yeah.
But, okay, so, what did we think of Rue and Eli?
Rue and Eli. Yes, so they have an interesting dynamic. Ali tried something, I feel like, a little different with this one, which I personally liked it. I actually, especially as we were revisiting right now, because at this point, when we were mainly recording, I read this, like, a couple months ago now, because we had, like, the holidays, so we took a break from Ali, and I was thinking about it as we were talking, I was like, damn, I kind of want to reread this one again. Like, I really enjoyed what she did, because what I was alluding to with that she tried something different is these characters are not, I don't say they're mean, they're not mean, but they're just very honest and very cut to the point. And I think they had, I wouldn't say like her other characters don't have like a lot of depth, because they do, and they've all had like a lot of trauma and a lot of things, but this one was just like really heavy hitting, I think, for the two of them. And I really love this idea that she came up with, where like every time they saw each other, they just told each other an honest truth. And like for them, it's them telling something bad about themselves, and they think like they're terrible people. And as you're reading as a reader, you're like, you're not terrible people. Like, you guys just had like really bad trauma, and like 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 maybe you don't react to every situation right, but you're not like bad people. But so I appreciate that, because then they, throughout their story, they see that in each other, and they realize like things about themselves and each other in the end. So I personally, I liked both of them. What did you think?
I think I had the same like thoughts. Like, after we kind of discussed it a little this morning, I was like, you know, like I kind of want to reread it too, because I remember not loving it, but maybe even after maybe even after reading Problematic, I don't know, I felt a little more like removed from them, so it was like easier to understand them, I think. And I feel exactly what you're saying, like this sense of them being kind of more like realistic and like less, I mean, like, not fantastical in terms of, like, it's, like, fantasy or whatever, but, like, sometimes, like, Allie's things are over the top, right? It's a little, like, oh my goodness, girl. And I think they had some real life trauma, real life issues. And so, yeah, you can appreciate them in that way. Sometimes I think Rue is a little weird, but she's supposed to be. Like, even
she'll be very socially awkward.
Yeah, you'll get to it in Problematic, but, like, everyone, by that time, like, they know it and they accept it, and you're just like, okay, yeah, that's just Rue. And Eli loves her so. So, I agree.
So, speaking of, like, their shared trauma, like, it was really interesting because you meet Rue, and you can see she has a lot of childhood trauma, because her mother wasn't really stepping up, and they were often hungry, and she had to take care of her brother. And that's also, I didn't love the trauma, but I loved how that inspired her to go into her field of work.
I was gonna say,
I thought that was very inspiring, and like it was full circle for her. And you would think, like, okay, easily you could, as a writer, you know, make his trauma be similar of, like, poverty or something like that. But his trauma was a little different, but they related to each other. And I thought that was really beautiful because for him, it was that his parents died, and he had to take in and raise his sister. So at a very young age for him, when he's in the middle of grad school and stuff, which is also really intriguing because, especially if you were reading Ali's books to this point, all of them are like in grad school or like some kind of mid-profession. And she very much stresses how like financially burdened it is and how like crazy it is and how you have no time to think of that. You know, you kind of like already know that setup, and then you meet Eli and you hear that when this happened, you're like, oh, he would have had to give everything up, and he does. And so like that's like, it's sad in that aspect. So they connect in this way of having to feel like you need to put all of you aside to help somebody else. And then because of that, they forget how to help themselves. And chef's kiss, I loved that. And then I love the showing the differences between the two and showing how like he and his sister actually have gotten better now, but her and her brother have not. So it's not always like peaches and cream, where it will work out in the end.
Yeah. And I also I think she did a really good job with his friends and like his group of people. And we also talked about like how sometimes the side characters get lost, or like they all become kind of like jumbled as one. But his like similar. Really, like especially the girls, unfortunately, like the FMC always has a best friend or a roommate or someone. Or sister. Yeah, who just kind of melds together. So, like, we talked about in Love on the Brain, I want to call her Darcy. I don't think that's right. Because
that's hard.
I always think of, whatchamacallit. But she did stand out because she was the assistant, and we loved her. But anyways, so...
Yeah, I feel like we could tell you their whole, like, half their whole story, but, like, not who they are.
Yeah.
But Eli's friends.
Yeah, I especially like Manami, and just kind of like the lore between her and I already forgot his name, and he's the lead of the next book. Jesus. The Irish guy.
Yeah, between the other two friends. Again, we could tell you everything that happens, but their names, no. I think, that was so intriguing, the fact that, like, he used to be with her, and then they broke up, and then she married the other friend in the group, but they're all still friends, and then clearly that guy is, like, still kind of not, like, he has to be over it, because at this point, like, they're married, and we find out she's pregnant in the book, so, like, he has to move on, but I think it just stings him. Like, I think he probably just feels stuck. Well, I don't know. I haven't read that book yet, so maybe
you'll learn.
Maybe not. I don't know. That's what my impression of him was.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
But I just thought, like, there was a good dynamic there. I think she, like, she's, like, building more, right? Like, there's, Allie's growing as we're growing with her, so I do enjoy that.
I think it helped having the 4 people, too, because, like, that sounds weird that, like, having more people is better than having just the one. But, like, they do stand out more because of that. They have this whole backstory that we can remember. They have this whole lore to them. They have this whole connection, how each character interacts, that it's easier for us to be like, oh, yeah, his group of people. Even if we don't remember their names, we remember the group of people. Where, we're talking about the other books. I'm like, okay, so, this one had an assistant. This one had a friend. This one had a sister. Like, it's hard to just pieces together. And even right now, I'm in the middle of reading Deep End as we're talking, and I'm still like, who's her friend? Oh yeah, she's his friend. Like it gets it's interesting. Like, it's an interesting critique for Ali's books that I think we're coming across, which will be. I wonder if anyone else feels the same way, and if you do, let us know that like she needs to improve on her side character work.
Because I think what you can see with these friends is they've shaped Eli, like. Together they are like a unit, and they've helped like shape him. And I feel like a lot of the other side characters don't, like, if they didn't exist, like, we would still have our main character, you know?
Yes
And I think
that's it
makes a difference. So
they feel more like comic relief than anything.
So that's interesting.
I like that. Good observation, Lee. So I think this book is a little more interesting as well because of the villain of the story and our dynamic of the story. In the last couple we've talked about with Ali, like sometimes it's very obvious right away who's the bad guy, what's going on. With this one, that's not necessarily different. We're not like, oh my gosh, this is not the bad guy, but we have a different dynamic that she set us up with being that our main character very much entrusts this person. It's not like a mentor or someone that they know of. It's like, this is a friend they've had for years. So as a reader, you have to grapple with that because you don't want to necessarily say, oh, like, let me just write this person off right away because our main girl, that's her, like, best friend.
Right. Yeah. It was hard. Like, I thought that was also, like, well written, that you were kind of attached to this person as well. And even though you knew, like, as the reader, like, you could see the suspicious things and you're like, oh no. But then you were, like, hurt along with Rue. And it felt a little more like you felt like the denial of it. Whereas, like, everything else has kind of been like an oh my god moment. Like, someone did this. Like,
how can they not realize that? Whoa.
Right. And this was like an oh no. And, like, the fact that, like, it also involved, like, Eli's past, and he obviously didn't want her to be hurt either, but it was just like, this is not a good person. Like, she is not.
No, and as you're reading it, you're, like, waiting for the shoe to, like, drop, not in the case of, like, you're gonna find out what happens, but for our main character, you're like, eee! Like, you're, like, biting your nails reading it, like, oh my gosh. And I appreciate it when you bring up Eli that he didn't want to be the one to just tell her the story. Like, he could have told her the moment he met her. He could have told her everything. But he also wanted to respect her and her friendship with this person. And also the whole working relationship on top of that. Like, her being in the job. Because if he just came up and said that, then she might automatically just be like, no, like, you're wrong. I'm going to take this person's side. Like, she needs to discover for herself and make her own decision about what side of the story she wants to believe, but also support, and blah, blah, blah. So I really appreciated that. I like that it was Manami. Manami is her name, right?
Yeah.
I love that it was her that ended up telling, like, Rue everything.
I love Manami. She's such a good, like, mom.
She really is. Oh my god. She really, really is. I love how, like, there were scenes where she's just, like, jumping on the exercise ball and talking to Eli.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my gosh. And she's very good with, what's his sister's name?
I don't even know what his sister's name is. I could just look up Problematic Summer book.
Maya and...
Yeah, Maya, Maya, you're right. And it's Connor is the guy.
Connor. I knew it was a C. Okay.
But so Eli had to start raising her she was 11 years old.
Which is pretty wild. And, like, she's also, like, a secret genius. Maybe not secret, but she's also a genius. So that's another, like, layer to their relationship, is they're both very smart people. He obviously, like, wants her to, like, do the best with her education and everything, and she's just trying to find herself. And she makes it a little difficult. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, she's young.
She is young. Yeah.
I do like how with Eli, though, like, he had to give up a lot, obviously, and he was, like, gonna go into more of the science realm with his career, and obviously everything happened. That wasn't just the sister. I appreciate that he ended up loving the job he got, though, and, like, loved the career. He, like, kind of made, like, lemonade out of lemons or whatever. Like, he was able to not be in the situation where he, like, meets Rue and he goes into all these science places and, like, be, like, not regretful but, like, feel sad or feel like, I should have changed my life. Yeah, like, regretting things in his life. Like, no, he was able to just, like, find his new path from that, and I think that just shows, like, resilience. So it made me respect him more as a character, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I also felt like he was good, and this can be like an alley man trait, but, you know, he was gonna give Rue her time, but also knew when to, like, push her, right? To like push her just a little bit and be like, Like, I'm asking for this, or like, we gotta work on this. So you can get there. Like, I'll give you like a little leeway, but you know, I can't just have you like buckle down and refuse. So I liked that.
I do enjoy that. Okay, what was your favorite Eli and Rue scene?
I really like the epilogue.
In the cabin? Right? That's that one?
When they go ice skating, isn't that the epilogue? I think there's also
maybe.
a cabin. But I like the scene when they're like skating together.
Yeah, they get engaged.
Yeah. And there's
oh,
like
when she goes back to the skating is the end of the book that she's telling him like she loves him.
Okay,
and she goes back. Yeah, he was skating and then
Okay, yeah, because he has like doubts, and like she comes and she's skating with him and she like opens up to him. I really liked that. I remember like listening to that a couple times.
That's adorable. I'm trying to think what my favorite was. I really loved when the brother came and like outside of her apartment and she called him and he came and he helped her and then he stayed with her and that was really like a powerful scene, I think, in the book.
Is this the book where she's obsessed with Twilight? And they watch it?
No. That's the other one. That's the one
that's Love
where,
Theoretically.
Yeah, where she like runs in the snow.
Oh yeah,
that's that one.
I
don't know what her session is.
Yeah, there are moments where these two books are similar to me, but I do remember the brother, and I remember him coming over.
Yeah, and the whole thing with the brother, as a refresher for everyone listening, is that basically he just wanted her to sign away her rights to the cabin the dad gave them so he could sell it. But she did not, and she kept it. She always ended up using Eli's lawyers, and she was able to keep it for herself, which, like, go Rue. I think I also liked, and this might be just because I'm biased, but in the copy that I bought, which was signed, so yay, there's artwork in the front, and I love the artwork. So then when I was excited to get to the scene, and the artwork is from the golf scene when they are at the country club party.
Oh,
and I kind of like that too because it gave it such like a not like a spice, like it gave it a spice because it was just like they were like trying to deny it or whatever, and like annoyed the other person was there, and then like not trying to show other people that they're interested in each other, and then they go outside and they have like a little spice. So that was the image was them outside, and I was like, oh, this is fun.
There's a lot of scenes that really like stand out visually. Like I can really remember them and like picture them. Another one is them in the car, which was a spicy scene.
Them in the car.
Yeah.
Where were they going?
They were at the hockey rink.
Oh yeah, the hockey. Yes.
I personally didn't think it was that spicy. Like, nothing alarming.
As a book?
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, I think just the more of the power dynamic of them is what probably she felt like was more spicy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Which is fair.
And I think I wrote in my notes, they are very horny adults. So, like, that's kind of all they think about, too. So, like...
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah, I guess she wanted
I think when Ali plays with her spice, she also, which I think we've talked about from the beginning, like she plays with sexuality in general and like what people feel comfortable in their bodies and what they don't. Like, you know, Rue right away is saying like she only likes it a certain way. Yeah. And then obviously like things changed out the book, whatever. But like, I think Ali likes to explore that not everyone is like cookie cutter, likes the same kind of sexual experiences. And I think that's interesting, especially for like straight romance. Not a lot of people like take those risks to try that, and so I think that's really cool that she does. Even though like she does gives the audience what they want and the like whatever, but like she does experiment with like there's other ways to just be intimate and to enjoy intimacy. It's not just one way that we see in movies and TV.
Yeah, and it's not that she just does it. Like she has the characters express that You know, she has the people say, like, oh, I that's not for me, or like, oh, that is, which you're probably learning in Deep End as well. But yeah, so she makes that. I think that's nice because it shows, like, readers that that's okay, like, to say that in real life. So,
I think that's Ali's biggest thing is to communicate.
Yeah.
Like, communicate with your partner. And so I appreciate that she always does that.
Yeah, so I thought that was well done, too.
Do you remember what you rated this? I don't remember what I rated it either.
I don't think it was very good. Like, I want to say a 3, but I think talking about it has made me, like, enjoy it more or, like, appreciate it more. But yeah, I think at the time I was just like, it's okay. So I'll give it that.
Yeah, it kind of feels like maybe you need to revisit it. I think also, like, remember it was, like, in between. Like, it also came out, like, a random time, too. I remember that.
It really did. Yeah, it was, like, August
Like, it was,
something.
Yeah.
24,
like,
maybe.
in between, like, then the next book you got was Deep End. So, like, for you to, like, think back on them, maybe it's, like, one of those things where you're just like, yeah, you know, like, you really, really love Deep End, which is, I mean, as I'm reading it so far, it makes sense. It's good. So,
And they really
it's been, like, that
it,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
For Wet, yeah. I love calling it Wet. So we're going to call the episode Wet or Deep End? That's the question. Like, we probably should call it Deep End, but, like, it's not Deep End.
Just get the hashtags right.
Literally. I think I rated it like I might have rated it like a 4 something. Because I did really enjoy this one.
Yeah.
I have to check.
Yeah, I think she did good with the characters. I liked, even though, like, the science and the business stuff was a little heavy to me, it felt, I'm going to say researched. Like, it felt like she knew what she was talking about, you know? So I liked
It also
that.
felt like less science than the other books. It didn't
Like,
feel as...
in specifics, but I think just the world, I was like, this happens? What?
Yeah, it does. People steal things from each other all the time. That does. So that makes sense.
And just,
But yeah,
like,
I did have to have you, like, as a reader, be like, okay, listen to the whole thing.
So yeah, that was neat. And then Eli's dog. So cute.
I was just about to say, what animal did we get this book? We got a dog.
He's a giant baby.
Love that. I love how there was points where you had to, like, go back wherever they were to, like, go walk the dog. Like, yes, we love a good dad.
Very cute.
I know, I'm waiting for the animal in Deep End. I mean, her stepmother has a dog, and that might be the only animal.
I think so.
Dang.
No,
It's not a good romance book if you don't have one animal. You need one animal. And we'll be satisfied.
It's true. It's true.
Well, I think that just wraps up our quick thoughts on Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Definitely check it out if you haven't read it and you don't care about being spoiled right now as you were. But
we didn't do too bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't spoil so much.
We didn't say names because we don't know them.
That's terrible. We comprehended I could tell you we and Lee could tell you the entire book. She was texting me the entire plot this morning, and I was like, "Are you currently rereading this?" Because it sounds like it. But yes, we cannot tell you the names. So we can tell you everything that happens from start to finish. Make sure to stay tuned for our next Ali Hazelwood episode. It will be focusing on the book that we talked about this entire time, Deep End, or Wet by Ali Hazelwood. So we'll be focusing on that. And then we will go to Problematic Summer Romance. And then after that, we have 2 novellas to wrap up our current Ali Hazelwood spread. And then we'll announce what we're going to do next for our mini episode series. Because we have a good series planned. We have a series that all of our friends have been waiting for. So y'all better listen to every episode. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Chime in, text us, comment,
chat, email,
send it to your friends on TikTok.
All the things. Which, speaking of, find us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at Fairy Tales Podcast. We are also on the most important app of all, the app Fable. That's where our book club is on. We read all of our books with them. We are currently diving deep into the Grishaverse. We are now in Six of Crows, and we're going to keep going with all of that series, Six of Crows, Shadow and Bone, for quite some time. So if you want to reread or read for the first time, join us on the Fable app. You can literally just look up Fate Tales and you'll find us. And our side quest one will be the one that this new series we're alluding to is going to be in. So if you want to know before the podcast knows, join the side quest club because it's exciting.
No, it'll be good.
Oh my god, it'll be amazing. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. We hope that you have a great rest of your day, week, month reading a good book, and happy reading.
Happy reading.